Hello everyone, my name is Debbie Jones-Snyders and I'm from the Hopedale Presbyterian Church. I'm very happy to welcome children and families to our church school lessons and crafts. Our story today is Jesus Walks on Water, and this is adapted from Mission Bible Class with images by Sweet Publishing and access through free Bible images. We have two coloring pictures, and our craft is Jesus Walks on Water paper craft with a puppet. You can see Jesus is on the popsicle stick, and so we've made a puppet there to show how Jesus walks on water in this craft. And then we have a variety of other activities for you. So how many of you know how to swim? Can anyone float? Can anyone stand on the water? Can anyone walk on the water? Well, today we're going to hear a story about someone who could stand up and walk on top of the water. Jesus and his disciples had been around crowds of people for a long time. Now Jesus wanted to spend a little time alone so he could pray. In the evening, he told his disciples to get in the boat and row over to the other side of the lake, which is called the Sea of Galilee. The disciples set out in the boat, and Jesus went up to the mountainside to pray. The water in the lake was rough. The disciples had to row very hard. Between 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning, they had only rowed to the middle of the lake. Jesus had finished praying, and he looked out on the lake, and he saw them trying to row. Actually, this was amazing that Jesus could see 4 or 5 kilometers out in the lake, even though it was dark. Jesus began walking out on the water as if it was dry land. He did not swim or tread water. He just walked on top of the water, but he did not sink. What do you think the disciples thought when they watched him walking by? You guessed it. The disciples were very afraid. They did not think it was Jesus walking by. They thought it was a ghost floating by. They began to scream. When Jesus heard them, he called out to his friends, "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." Peter couldn't believe his ears. That didn't sound like a ghost. That sounded like Jesus. Maybe it was a trick. Peter decided to test the ghost. "Lord, if it's you," Peter called out, "tell me to come to you on the water." Then he heard Jesus' voice. "Come." Peter got out of the boat and began walking toward Jesus. He was walking on the water just like Jesus was. Then Peter started looking around and noticing all of the waves and the wind. He stopped thinking about Jesus and started thinking about the water. Then Peter began to sink in the water. He yelled out to Jesus, "Lord, save me." Jesus reached down and caught Peter. "Peter," he said, "why did you start doubting me? You should always have faith in me." Then Peter and Jesus stepped into the boat, and the storm immediately died down. Everyone in the boat worshiped Jesus. They knew he really is the Son of God. They knew it was very important to always have faith in Jesus. Do you have faith in Jesus? We have several activities for you depending on your age level, interest, and ability. And you will need to print the templates and the activities. There are 2 coloring pictures. There is one craft, and it's Jesus walks on water. It's paper craft with a puppet. You will need the templates, and there are 3. There's one here with Jesus and the waves, 2 sets of waves and the cloud. Oh, sorry, there are 2 templates. And there's also, so Jesus and the waves and the cloud, and also the boat. You will also need construction paper. So I used a light colored construction paper for the background. You will need the template, as I said, and things to color with, scissors, glue, and a popsicle stick, also tape. Tape would be good to put the popsicle stick on the back of Jesus. So once you have colored and cut out the template, then you can start to assemble things. So you can make the boat here by coloring and cutting out the pieces, folding the pieces in half and gluing them together. So glue each half together. You can glue the cloud in the corner, the left-hand upper corner. And you can put the larger waves, glue the larger waves at the bottom. And then assemble the sailboat by gluing the pieces on the construction paper. The folded parts will actually give a 3D effect. Then what you want to do is to cut a slit about 1 inch from the bottom of the construction paper across the waves. And you will be gluing on the smaller waves, but you don't want to glue, you don't want to cover up the slit. You want to leave the slit there because that is how Jesus is going to walk on the water. You will want to do the, make the Jesus puppet. So what I've done is I've actually taped the picture of Jesus and the decorated piece of Jesus on the back of a popsicle stick. So he's all decorated, and now what you can do is actually have Jesus walk on water. There you go. So we have other activities for you as well. We have a maze, a crossword, another crossword, a word search, a combined word search and maze, an unscramble the words activity, or working on the anagrams. And those are the answers. And here's the coded words activity as well. So this week, remember, it's always important to have faith in Jesus. Keep your eyes on Jesus. He keeps you safe. Tell your friends about Jesus. Have a great week.